of your STAAR review, and in this video we will be covering surface area. Now you should have already glued in your foldable for surface area, and this would have been at the top of page 8. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into this. So folding up your foldable, you should see numbers 1 and 2. Now we're first going to cover rectangular prisms. Now remember, whenever we're talking about surface area, you do have two types of surface area. You have lateral surface area, where it just covers, you're finding the area of just the sides, or you can find total surface area, where you're finding the area of all sides of your shape. So since I'm finding lateral surface area, I'm just finding the area of the sides here. So for this one, it says the dimensions of a rectangular prism are shown here. What is the lateral surface area of this rectangular prism in square centimeters? So for starters, let's go ahead and go to our formula chart and find the formula for lateral surface area of a prism. And here we get S equals PH. So I'm going to go ahead and write that formula down. S equals P times H. Now remember, P stands for the perimeter of your base, and H stands for the height of your prism. So this is a lateral surface area for a prism. Now, for starters, since I have to find the perimeter of my base, what side is my base? On a rectangular prism, the bottom is always your base. It's always your base shape. On the bottom, I do have a rectangle, so these two sides should be equal and these sides should be equal. Now, to get the dimensions, I'm going to have to look up top. So I see that this side is 7.5. And this side is 5.2. So to find the perimeter of my base, I'm going to take 7.5 plus 5.2 plus 7.5 plus 5.2. I'm going to go ahead and open up my calculator, and we're going to add that up. So 7.5 plus 5.2 plus 7.5 plus 5.2. When we press enter, we get 25.4. So the perimeter of my base is 25.4. Now I want to multiply that by the height of my prism. So that is the distance between my bases, which is going to be 12. So 25.4 times 12, let's go ahead and put that in. And we get 304.8. So here the lateral surface area of this prism is going to be 304.8 centimeters squared. So here your answer is A. So now let's go ahead and look at our foldable. This is everything you should have written down. So now we're going to go ahead and look at number 2. So the difference here is now we're looking for the total surface area. So number 2 says the dimensions of a rectangular prism are shown below. What is the total surface area of this prism in square inches? So going to our formula chart, the formula for total surface area of a prism is S equals PH plus 2B. So total surface area of a prism is S equals PH plus 2B. Now again, the P stands for the perimeter of your base, and again on a rectangular prism, the base is always the bottom. Then we have the height of your prism plus 2 times the area of your base. Now on a rectangular prism, your base is going to be a rectangle. So for starters, let's go ahead and find the perimeter of your base, and again we have to first identify our base. So again, that is the bottom. So to find the perimeter, I have to find the distance going all the way around. So to find perimeter, this is going to be 7.5 plus 3.5 plus 7.5 plus 3.5. So let's enter that into our calculator. 7.5 plus 3.5 plus 7.5 plus 3.5, and we get 22. The perimeter is 22 times the height of my prism. So here I have a base on the bottom, and I also have a base on the top. So my height here is going to be 2. So 22 times 2 plus 2 times B. B is the area of my base. And I find the area of a rectangle by doing length times width. Now here the length of my rectangle is 7.5 and the width is 3.5. So 7.5 times 3.5. We get 26.25. So 2 times 26.25. So now all that's left to do is plug this in. So I have 22, which was my perimeter, times the height, which was 2, plus 2 times the area of my base, which is 26.25. Plugging that in, we get 96.5. So here, the total surface area of this prism is going to be, again, 96.5 inches squared. So now going ahead and taking a look at your foldable, this is everything you should have written down for number 2. Now we're going to go ahead and flip our foldable up, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the surface area of triangular prisms. So let's go ahead and look at that. So for number 3, it says the dimensions of a triangular prism are shown here. What is the lateral surface area of this prism in square inches? So again, I need to find the formula for the lateral surface area of a prism, which is S equals pH. So I'm going to go ahead and write LSA for lateral surface area of a prism. So here again, it was S equals pH. Now my first step is to find the perimeter of my base. Now notice how I said the word triangular prism. That is there to help you to remember that your base is the triangle. So this is my base. So to find the perimeter of my triangle, I need to take 20, and then I need to take this side length, which I can get from the back, which is 26. So 20 plus 26, and this side is also 26. So 20 plus 26 plus 26 is 72. So our perimeter is 72. Now, if you're asking yourself why I didn't use this 24, that is because this belongs to the height of my triangle. And you will only use this whenever you have to find the area of your triangle. So I'm going to take the perimeter, which again was 72, and I'm going to multiply that by the height of my base. Now again, 24 is not the height of your base, it's just the height of your triangle. The height of your base is going to be the distance between both of your triangles, which here is 30. So 72 times 30 is 2,160. So here the lateral surface area is 2,160 inches squared. So now taking a look at your foldable, this is everything you should have written down for number 3. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and look at number 4. So number 4 says the dimensions of a triangular prism are shown here. What is the total surface area of this prism in square inches? So first I need the formula for total surface area of a prism, which is S equals pH plus 2b. So I'm going to go ahead and write that formula down. Again, P stands for the perimeter of your base, H is the height of your prism, which is the distance between your bases, and B stands for the area of your base. So again, on this triangular prism, our base is the triangle, and we found the perimeter of our triangle by adding the sides. So I had 20 on the bottom, and then I had 26 plus 26. So 20 plus 26 plus 26, we got 72. So our perimeter was 72. We multiplied that by the height of our prism, which was the distance between our bases, which was 30. And I added 2 times b, which is the area of our base. Now here, again, our base is a triangle, so I need to go to my formula chart to find the area of a triangle. And here we see that it is A equals 1/2 BH. A lot of my students really liked base times height divided by 2 better. I'm going to go ahead and use that just because they thought it was easier. So the base of my triangle was 20, and I want to multiply that by the height of my triangle, which was 24. So 20 times 24, and then you divide that by 2. So 20 times 24, and then divide by 2, you get 240. So now all that's left to do is plug that in. So I take 72 times 30 plus 2 times 240, and oops, put that in incorrectly. 72 times 30 plus 2 times 240, we get 2,640. So here the surface area is 2,640 inches squared. So now taking a look at your foldable, This is everything you should have written down for number 4. Give it a second to adjust. Okay, so again, that's everything you should have written down. Now we're going to go ahead and fold up triangular prisms. And the last thing we're going to go ahead and look at are our cylinders. Now, we really liked, whenever we discussed this, y'all really thought finding the surface area of a cylinder was very easy because, again, the only thing you need to know is your radius and your height. So looking at number 5 here, it says a cylindrical paint can has dimensions as shown below. What is the lateral surface area of this prism in square inches? So going to our formula chart, we find that the formula for lateral surface area of a cylinder is S equals 2 times pi times our radius times our height. So 2 pi RH. So S equals 2 pi RH. Again, R stands for the radius, H stands for the height. Well, I see that the height is 19, but what's my radius? Here I see my radius. I see this line goes all the way across. So I know it's my radius and it's I know it's my diameter because it goes all the way across. So to find my radius, I have to divide that number by 2. So I'm going to take 16.5 divided by 2 and I get 8.25. So my radius is 8.25 and now I can go ahead and plug this in. So I have 2 times pi times my radius, which is 8.25, and then times my height, which is 19. So now plugging that in, 2 times pi times 8.25 and then times 19, we get 984.889. We're going to round that to 984.9. So here the lateral surface area is 984.9 centimeters squared. Okay, so now looking at your foldable, this is everything you should have written down for number 5. So now we're going to go ahead and go down, and we're lastly going to look at number 6. So number 6 says, a cylinder has the dimensions diagram below. What is the closest measure of the cylinder's total surface area? So going to our formula chart, the formula for total surface area of a cylinder is S equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. Now again, the only thing you need to find are your radius and your height. So I'm going to go ahead and write down that formula, 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. So I know the height of my cylinder is 14, and the radius, however, they give me my diameter, which is 4.6. So to find my radius, I have to divide by 2, and we get that my radius is 2.3. So plugging in these numbers into my formula, I have 2 times pi times 2.3 times the height, which is 14, plus 2 pi times the radius, which is 2.3 squared. So now let's go ahead and open up our calculator. 2 times pi times 2.3 times 14 plus 2 times pi times 2.3 squared. So pressing enter here, we find that the total surface area is going to be 235.557. So this will round to 235.6. Our unit is centimeters. And since we're talking about surface area, this is squared. So looking down to our answer choices, the only one that's going to match that is going to be D. So now lastly, taking a look at our foldable. This is, again, everything you should have written down for number 6. Now, once you have completed this, if you need to look back, go ahead and look back. But once you have finished your foldable, you're good to go. Today was only surface area, so you can go ahead and complete your assignment. And again, if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to us and go ahead and complete your assignment.